Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the ECC season number 8. We can finally kick off this season of ECC with, of course, the official seeding announcement. My name is Dennis, and I'm joined by the lovely Faded. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Dennis. And we are here once again. The division announcement stream is becoming tradition at this point for us to stream this, and we've got another absolute banger of a season, the 8th season. We are here, ladies and gentlemen, and so I'm sure you're all excited to find out who is going to be participating in this season. And of course, we've got a lot to talk about before we start to show you all who's going to be playing and introduce our guests. And I think the first point I would actually want to bring up about this is that we've actually expanded, and we've got now the Vortex as our new top division. And with that, we also had qualifiers over the past couple days. So yeah, we saw all those things going through. So there's a spoilers as to who made it in. But yeah, Dennis, I'm sure you saw it as well. It was some super exciting stuff we got to see.
Yeah, Friday and Saturday, of course, we have seen the open qualifiers and the closed qualifiers, respectively. And well, we have seen some really, really good teams play in. But in the end, we, of course, have seen two teams who were playing last season. They made, well, the Champions Division's final. And they made it already into the Vortex division. But besides that, we had 8 other spots left in the Vortex division. Those 8 other spots are filled since the qualifiers are done. So we'll go over the Vortex division later on this evening. But definitely some really, really good teams I'm seeing there, of course, for the highest division of the ECC, the Vortex division, the new edition, of course, fully sponsored by our sponsor, Godallions. And well, it's going to be a really, really good season, Faded. I can't wait for, to also see how the Vortex is planning out. It's, of course, a new edition, but definitely I can see it's going to be a really, really good season and a really good division as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And we need to, of course, mention that the Vortex is going to have a €300 prize pool, just like the Champions Division did last season, and of course, €30 for the Champions Division this season. Of course, we have to change things around here, but yeah, of course, we've got to thank Godallions as our main sponsor for this season. Again, they've been sponsored for the last couple of seasons and have helped to put together this prize pool for us. So a massive shout out to those guys there. We do appreciate you, but yeah, the Vortex is going to be looking to be a really exciting in particular. I must say there were some surprise teams that got in there, but nevertheless, it's going to be great to see how that will play out. But of course, we've got many divisions here now, and so the more divisions, the better, I guess. The more games we'll get to see next season on stream, and of course, our streams are better. Of course, face cams, I think, are a great addition, and I hope you all enjoy that. So yeah, I'm really excited to see how this season is going to pan out. But I think that's maybe enough waffling on, Dennis. I think with the scene set, I think it's about time we break the ice here and begin to announce our divisions, and of course, bring in our first guest.
Yeah, of course, we are going to start from the bottom of the ECC, but nevertheless, always the upsetting division, I can call. Like the last few seasons, we have seen division number 4 being a quite upsetting division, and well, it's always been a really, really good season to watch Division 4. And I think we have our very first guest in the room right now. It is the founder of one of our partners, Rocket Sundays. It has been a really, really good pleasure to have this guy here, ladies and gentlemen. It's Herbie. Welcome to the stream.
Hi, it's good to be here. I have to make a quick correction. I'm not actually the founder of Rocket Sundays.
All right.
The real founder would kill me if I said that. I didn't actually turn up over there until the league's 3rd season and got to be an admin fairly quickly. But it's been a real honour to have our stream partnership with the ECC last season and, of course, heading into this season as well. The Vortex qualifiers were loads of fun the last couple of days, and yeah, we're really excited to participate in the upcoming season.
Yeah, I believe this is your very first season in ECC. Correct me if I'm wrong, but do you have any expectations for this season? Of course, it is your first season. It is going to be Division 4. You're starting from the bottom of the league. Do you have any expectations? Maybe a predicted finish you would be in, or?
No, the bottom is right. 10th would be fine with me. I imagine my team is going to be fairly off the pace MMR-wise, but we're just really happy to be here participating in this season. It's more of a supplement to me joining the production team for this season, which I'm really excited to do as well. Just to get more involved in the ECC community and maybe give people an underdog to support at Div 4 level.
All right. Well, without further ado, I think it's time that you can reveal to all the people watching here what will be the seedings of the very first division, division number 4. Can you start from the top to the bottom? Well, for everyone watching, from the bottom to the top.
Okay. Seeded 10th, Pro-Am United. In 9th, Gaming District. In 8th, Reski Esports B. Seeded 7th, Fakes Not Mistakes. In 6th, Disconnected Esports Epsilon. And the sole returning team of the division in 5th, FC NetNeat. In 4th, one of a number of teams from this org that I've seen this season, Revamp Esports Team Fire A. And in the top 3, Bad Karma, Incendia Esports, and a team that I'm really excited to play against at the top of the division, Irrelevant Esports Purple.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it is a really competitive division. As I already said, we are seeing Division 4 usually as an upsetting division. And well, you are in this division as well. Do you think maybe you could continue that trend and can actually make an upsetting Division 4 in this season of ECC?
No, definitely. 10th, I would be happy with anywhere that isn't 10th. I really don't expect to win too many games this season, but my team has been together as a pair for quite some time now. They had 4 entirely winless seasons in Rocket Sundays before I joined up with them, and we're expecting it to be reasonably similar. But as I said earlier, it's just all about the experience, and we'll take each game as it comes.
That's great to hear. You got your teammates sorted. You have a really solid roster going into Division 4. Well, yeah, I can't wait to see you guys playing. Do you want to give a last plug? Do you want to give maybe a shout out to, of course, Rocket Sundays here on stream?
No, not Rocket Sunday specifically. I'm here because of the ECC. It's a fantastic place to be, and I just want to thank the director team for giving me the opportunity to join the production team.
All right, and I want to thank you very much for, of course, seeding the Division 4, for announcing Division 4. And well, I can't wait to see you playing. So thank you very much for your time, Herbie. And who knows, maybe we'll see you on stream later on in this season.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Been a pleasure.
So yeah, that was Herbie in the stream, of course. Well, I think that's all been said for Division 4. Vader, do you have to add anything else on Division 4?
I must say, it's great to hear from Harvey, part of one of our partners, Rocket Sundays here. And, I like to say he was maybe a little bit pessimistic about his chances in Division 4, but, I think he's excited to compete, which I think is what matters the most. I do hope he can, his team can maybe cause a few upsets here and there. We'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, Division 4 is looking, even if it is the lowest division here, it's still going to give us some great action. But that's all I have to really say about Division 3. I think it's about time we move on, or Division 4, sorry. We're going to move on to Division 3 now. And our next guest is going to be Sheed, so we will get him into the call just momentarily. And then here he is. Sheed, welcome on to the stream, my man. Must ask, first of all, how are you today?
I'm pretty good. What about you guys?
Well, I must say I'm pretty well, and I'm sure my co-host here, Dennis, is as well. So, a little bit background on Sheed here. Of course, been here since the Alpha season, the very, very first season of the ECC. So this, Sheed, marks your 9th season, if I am not mistaken. And so, really, first thing I got asked, being here all this time, pretty much since the inception of the ECC. How's it been really being here all this time and just seeing how the league has grown from where it has started?
Oh, and actually, I was part of the founding the founding team for ECC. So I've been here since the very very beginning. I was part of the team that made the first logo. I remember talking to Kirst in just town because we live close to each other. I remember going in town and he was like, yo, we're thinking of making this big league thing, yeah, and it's going to be kind of like this and like this. We're going to have divisions, and at the time it was Division 3 and 2, but it was known as 2 and 1, and those were the two alpha divisions. And now there's 7 divs now, or 8 divs, if I'm not mistaken. How
Yeah,
many are there? There's 1, 2, 3. There's 9 divisions now. So we've gone from 2 to 9 in the space of, I'd say, a year and a half to 2 years. And
yeah.
that's just mental. The community has grown so much. New teams coming in, old teams leaving. I mean, quite recently we've had to say goodbye to Snakebite because of, I mean, the amount of time that they've been here. They couldn't keep up with it. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's been nice being part of the community all this time.
Yeah, so I mean, we could consider you one of the OGs here since the very, very beginning here. So it's great to still see people like you Shade around all this time in the ECC. But with all that said, we're now going to move on to announcing the division you'll be in, which is Division 3. So you got a list of teams there. So as Harvey did, I'd like you to just list off the teams from bottom to top here for us.
So coming in at number 10 is Override Esports. They are a returning team consisting of Brandau, DP76, OTB Snow, and a random chicken as their sub. In ninth, Pizza Boys, also a returning team consisting of team captain Crow, Adam, I can't even say this, Simisim, and Moose as their sub. The next team down is Phonex Onferno, consisting of also people who've been here for quite a while, if I'm not mistaken. You got Waffle, you've got the Weevil, who are both OGs from the beginning of time, and then some players which I don't think I've heard of: Simple, Alpha, and Takara. On to the next one. You got Sunday Storm, consisting of Jesus Christ, G-Force Dev, and Nagisa. And then right in the center, you've got my team, which I'm going to be coming in with. We consist of Vals, Daiki, myself, and Bikesino, and we're ILV Lime. And if I must say, we're contenders for this title. And then you got me Garnet, which is also a return team, consisting of Davey, Dragonite, Orbital Period, Skills, and Goated. The next is Breakdown Zenon, also a returning team, part of the Breakdown org, consisting of Mikas, Jeremiah James, Enderino, Mini G, and Dragon Killer. Now down to the final 3. We have Incendia Spark, with a captain of Can of Toast, DC, Zandem, and then the sub is Vexiled. You have the Waifu Fan Club, which consists of Lil Con, Anshlo, and Mash. And the final team, you have TC Esports, who are also a returning team, consisting of Samu, Piff CP, and Fat Bear.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that, Shade. So those are your 10 Division 3 teams there. And now I'd like to ask you, Shade, of course, you kind of touched upon it there, but your team coming in as the 6th seed here, ILV Lime. I'd like to ask about, what are your expectations going into this season? Because, your seed would maybe suggest that you're maybe not favored to make it into that top 4. But regardless, what do you think of your chances going into the season?
In my honest opinion, seeding is irrelevant.
Fair point. Right.
I mean, you can have lower teams because of less MMR, but if they put the effort in and they train, you don't know what's coming for you. They'll come out on top. They'll come out on top within a second because of the amount of hard work and effort they put in.
All right, yeah, that's a very fair point. I would actually agree to an extent. Definitely, seeing doesn't mean much, if at all. Of course, whilst there is some disparity in this division, I would agree that if you put in enough work, you could definitely make it in. And of course, in terms of MMR average, which in my opinion doesn't mean much, it isn't actually too large of a gap between Forest and where you guys are in 6th. So I'd say that's fair. You guys think you can go high, and you know what? I respect that. I do like the optimism. So I think that wraps it up here, Sheed. Would you like to say anything else to the stream before you head off?
Thank you for having me, and to all the teams competing this season in the ECC, good luck to you all.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Sheed, for coming along here. So that was Division 3 wrapped up. Dennis, do you have any closing thoughts on Division 3 before we head on forwards?
Well, I'm really interested to see how Sheed is going to do with his IV line, because he's saying, well, he's already contended for the top spot, well, for winning the title of Division 3. Well, we have to see. He's seed number 6, but he's saying, well, it doesn't really matter. So I'm really interested to see how it's going to end in the end of Division 3 at the end of league play. But yeah, that's all being really said about Division 3. Good luck to all the 10 teams competing in Division 3. I hope it's going to be a really competitive season for all of you guys. Moving on, actually, to the division I'm playing in myself, Division 2.1. And well, we can announce our new guest, which will be Dr. Sniper. So yeah, it's going to be a really, really competitive division, Division 2.1. And well, I can say Division 2.1, I've played in it myself last season. It is a really competitive division. It's just under, the Division 1 and Champs Div, but it's just still so competitive. Everyone wants to play for in Division 1, of course. Last season, Division 1, of course, had a 30 euros prize pool. Well, right now it has it has went to the Champs Div, and of course the Vortex has got the big prize pool. But well, that's really said everything about me. I think it's just time to introduce a new guest, Dr. Sniper. Welcome to the stream.
Yo, what's up, guys? Hope you're doing fine.
Yeah, I hope you're doing fine yourself as well. So, yeah, we have seen you in Division 3 last time, and well, you've done incredibly well, doing a clean sweep through the whole playoffs. Only lost one series in league play. Can you explain a little bit how last season went in Division 3?
To be honest, last season just went incredible good for us. We were playing like we wanted to and what we trained to, and we were kind of wondered about ourselves that we did that in this fucking run. And to be fair, on the one loss, we could have just won that, but the problem is we had a really bad day there, and we couldn't play our stuff. So yeah, it was unlucky. Otherwise, we wouldn't gotten no losses.
I mean, that always happens, just those bad days. But this season, definitely, because you, of course, deserve the promotion from last season, is going to be much harder. So I think it's time, Dr. Sniper, if you can announce Division 2.1, Division 2 Conference 1, who are going to be the teams competing in this conference?
Of course I can. Okay, then let's start with 10. This will be Hünke, returning team. Playing in there is Yusei, Dolol, and Jan 79. Then we have at team 9, we have Godalians Aztecs, returning team as well, playing with Makas, Benno, Happington, Astro RL, and Albadil as their subs. So now we're gonna head over to spot 8, and there is Astro Atlas playing with Victor, VTM, Dark, Bobo League, King Tizugi. And then we would jump over to place 6. Sorry, I fucked up a bit. There we have Rocket Core Pluto. I know this team, and it's nice to see them back with Blitz League, Jarvis, and Cookies. Then we continue with Fort Templar Samurais with Just Say CJ, Soulshot, JSMR, and Luna. And then we got place 6. We have Rewent Esports, Team Water A, Silo, Sean Ferry, Leviathan. These guys I don't know, also not have met them in ranked or stuff like that. So I'm actually impressed when we're gonna play them and how they're gonna play. So then let's go on. Then we have Acer Red with Snog, Absolute Zero, and Virtuals. Then we got as next team, we got Rise Esports playing with Snicks, X Shadow, Broken, and Sharky. At 2, we got my team playing me, Mostly Brave, Noisy, and Eric as a sub. And at the top spot, we got Ascension Draco, also a returning team, playing with Dennis RL, Itzcas, Exonic, Music, MBG.
Yeah, a competitive division, of course. You just said I'm playing in it myself as well. And well, of course, we are the top 2 seed in this division. So I'm just asking, what do you think what do you think is going to be your predicted finish? Could you like maybe you've already said a few teams here. Could you maybe say what's going to be your predicted finish? Maybe is it going to be the same season as last season, just like the clean sweep season, pretty much, or will it be a little bit harder this season?
I guess it will be a little bit harder, to be honest, because this is a new ranked border which we playing then now, because we playing, to be honest, I have to say, we playing with Noisy since, I guess, now 1 month maybe as a new main player. But still, the rotation has to be fixed a bit, but we will do it during the season. And my prediction for this season is, again, like top 4 or maybe just, again, clean sweeps. But we will see.
So if you say you're going to make playoffs, so top 4.
I guess, yeah, we will try.
All right, and you've already talked a little bit about your new teammate. Could you maybe, like, is it really that improvement you need for Division 2, or do you guys still think you guys are a little bit better than your new teammate?
Instead of mechanical skills, he's really, really good. He's better than me, to be honest, as well. But yeah, he's a really good addition to us because Eric has said he don't has the time to play in the main team, in the main spot for this season, and he just moved back to the sub, and we was just looking for one. And Noisy, we played with him, and we felt really good, and we said, "Yo, let's try it." Yeah.
All right, that's great to hear. Great to hear. Yeah, I think I just want to thank you very much for this interview, for having the time here, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Sniper of the 2nd seed RLV Forest Green in Division 2 and Conference 1. I want to thank you, and let's move on to the next conference, Division 2.2, and we've got a new guest. So yeah, Division 2.1 has been a really competitive division. Last season, and so was Division 2.2 actually. And in the end, playoffs was a really, really good, really good underdog story. Actually, it was Ziad Esports coming from the lower bracket, I believe. They were placed like 4th in Division 2.2, and they still made it to the grand final and beat Godanian Celeritas in the grand final with 4-3 in Game 7. So, well, underdog stories happen as well here in Division number 2. Well, of course, last season, IOV Line, Dr. Sniper, who we've just spoken, has had a really good season in Division 3. So let's see if they can continue that in this Division 2. But let's go to Division 2.2. We have a new guest here. It is Cheesecake. How are you doing?
Hello. I'm doing fine.
Nice.
All
Great
good.
to hear. Nice, great to hear. So, yeah, we have seen you last season playing for different teams. Actually, we have seen you playing for IOV Black, and we have seen you playing for Ascension Carriers, and now you're back in IOV Black. Could you explain it a little bit?
How did it went? Yeah, okay. We started as IOV Black as this season the same in Division 2. And actually, after like I think 3 weeks, the whole team fell apart. 2 guys left. With one of me was me. Yeah, so it fell apart, and then I was kind of looking for a team, and yeah, I guess I contacted Ascension Curious and try out it for them, and joined them. And yeah, after this season, I was sub for them, and after this season, I decided to leave them, especially because I rather don't be a sub because I prefer playing, and as a sub, of course, you don't play that much. So yeah, that's kind of the story.
Yeah, of course, we know that you're one of the admins in ILV as well. We are seeing some ILV teams here. So, well, we've just seen ILV line with Dr. Snipers in Division 2.1, actually. Do you think they could be a big competitor for you guys?
Ooh, that's a difficult question because I don't want to trash talk my other teams, but I'm confident for this season.
Nice.
I am confident that we can get far in this season.
Nice. Talking about confidence, we are seeing, of course, a completely new ROV Black. Well, we are seeing, you who has left ROV Black last season, and we are seeing Lord Kuroka. But could you explain the roster? Could you maybe give a little insight in the roster? Is it maybe good enough to win Division 2? What do you think about your roster?
Well, the main team or the main players were Panda and me. Then we had Kuroka indeed with us. But Kuroka, okay, he's a nice dude, but like he doesn't play very much Rocket League. I don't think what he has now, but I think he has like 2 or 3 hours in the past 2 weeks. So I came together with Panda, and we both decided that it was maybe a good idea to look for a third. In the first scenario, it was going to be a sub. And then we find Rattles, and he was actually a good fit for our team. And then we spoke with me, Panda, and Kuroka. And Kuroka said that if we felt confident with Rattles, then he said that he wanted to go to sub, and Rattles would join the main team. And I think after like a couple of weeks went by, the signups opened, and I think like a week after the signups opened, as we know, Snakebite disbanded, and Kirst came to us as he's the owner of ILV together with Panda and Kuroka, and he came to us and asked for tryouts, and we said we had one sub back then, and Kuroka, like as I said, he is not really active on Rocket League right now, so we thought a second sub can't hurt. And we tried him out, and that went great as well. And then he joined us as well. What I do have to say, sadly, the main roster that you're gonna see play with us is Rattles, Cursed Wolf, and me. I know Panda is the captain, but Panda is in his final year right now, in high school, I think. Yeah, and of course, school goes first instead of Rocket League. So Panda will still be managing everything, and when we need him, he will still be there. So you'll probably see him play anyway. But the main roster is gonna be Rattles, Cursed Wolf, and me.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. A really good insight from you on your roster. Unfortunately, we aren't going to see, well, of course, the real OG ROV legends, Lord Croak and Silent Panda play much. But, well, with you, Reynolds and Wolf, I think you have a really, really solid roster for Division 2. So I think it's time that you preview the seedings of Division 2 Conference 2. So starting from the 10th seed, could you give us the seeding of Division 2 Conference 2?
Well, the 10th team is going to be Breakdown Genesis as a returning team, so they will be coming back. With Tigers as a captain, Tiu, Andre, and Coral as a sub. That's going to be the 10th team. Then moving on to place 9.
Yes, place 9.
On place 9, we have Ascension Helios as a returning team. We saw them last season in Div 2 as well. And even in the playoffs, I think they became like, I think 5th/6th. If I can remember. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they had more hopes going into the playoffs, but yeah, in the end they came like 5th, 6th, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. So as well as a returning team, and I know that roster has been in ECC for a long time. So yeah, I'm excited. As we know, there has been a roster change in that team, and the captain is Bree. Then we have Ruben, and Per is gonna join them.
Yep. Yeah, in Helios we see 2 roster changes actually. Drazo and Flakes both left,
Yep.
and they got Per as replacement. So really interested to see how they are doing. But go on, seed number 8.
Moving on to seed number 8 is gonna be Scorch Esports, as well as a returning team, with Uwap as the captain, Teether, Swaces, and Eagle as a sub. I'm not sure about this team. This is the first time I see the teams. So
Do you remember Primal Esports from last season? They played in Division 2 as well. Primal Esports. They made playoffs.
I remember. I remember. Oh, that's that team.
Yeah, Primal rebranded to Scorch. So Scorch Esports is Primal from last season. Yeah,
I see. So we can expect great things from them as well.
Yes.
Okay, then moving on to seat number 7. That's gonna be Galamo Cobalt, with Simon as their captain, Heave, Bubbly, and Peto as their sub. Again, I'm totally wrong. This is not a returning team, so this is gonna be a new team in this season, Division 2 Conference 2. Personally, I have no idea what to expect from them, but it's nice to see new teams joining the divisions, and I guess we'll see what they're gonna offer us, right?
Yep.
Then moving on to what is it? I think seed 6. Yes, I am right. I can count. Can I count?
Yes.
I think I can count. Well, okay. In the 6th place we have Code 4, with Flix as their captain, Robert, Rumley, and Drazo as their sub. So we see Drazo coming back to Div 2 with a different team.
Yeah, and Flakes, who also played for Helios. So the 2 players from Helios left
true.
Helios and got into this team in Code 4.
They created their own team under Code 4. Again, they are not a returning team, so yeah, I'm wondering what they're gonna do in this division.
Yep, yeah, I can remember playing against Helios as well in the league, as in scrims. It was really, really hard to keep up with the pace of Drazo and Flix because, of course, if you have been in ECC for a longer time, you know that Drazo has been playing in Champs Div actually in the former seasons. Then he took a long break, and then he joined a Division 2 team, Ascension Helios. So definitely, it was a big impact on the Helios as well, having him in the roster, making playoffs in the end as well. But yeah, now they found themselves another team, a new team, both Flakes and Drazo. So yeah, interested to see how they're going to do it. Should be a really solid roster if I look at the roster a little bit.
Yes, I think this one is going to be interesting. Then moving on to seed 5. That's going to be Cosmos Odysseum, with Rio Clash as their captain, G Smasher and Wise, and Raphael as their sub. Again, this is not a returning team. I don't know anything about them. But as I said before, it's interesting to see new teams joining, and I'm excited to see what they're gonna do. Then moving on to seed 4 is Team Peculiarity as a returning team, with Alpha as their coach, as their captain, Sok, MVP, and Kyril as their sub. Again, I have no clue what this team is, but they are returning, and I'm sure they had a good season last season. So yeah, well, we'll see what they are gonna do. Then moving up to the third spot is Nox Esports Tampa, not a returning team, with Ualsk as their captain, Campy, Lucky77, and Stefan as their sub. Then moving on to place 2, we have Emerge Charlie. We've seen them last season with Sten as their captain, Loans, Heatsy, and 2 subs. This is the first time we see 2 subs in this conference. Markusuaska. I have no clue how to pronounce that, but I'm sure it's wrong. And Sanderson. That's going to be the number 2 spot for this conference. And last but not least, my own team.
Yes.
ILV Black. A returning team as well. We talked about it in the beginning. As Silent Panda as our captain. Me, myself, Cheesecake, Raddles, Cursed Wolf, and Lord Kuroka. And there we have it.
Yeah, Division 2, Conference 2, with you as top seed. So, yeah, we already talked a little bit about your prediction of this season, but seeing as you are, well, number 1 seed of Conference 2, do you think you can make a good shot for winning this season, Division 2?
Well, it's funny. I talked about this with the other mystery guests, and I'm not gonna say it. No, I'm not gonna say it. But I am confident that we can get far into the season, and yeah, I'm not gonna say more. I'm not gonna say more about it.
All right. Can you maybe call a few like the biggest competitors, the biggest, well, maybe rivals in this division?
Well, in this conference or the division?
Let's just say the whole division.
The whole division. Okay. Well, okay. As you know, you're in Ascension Draco now. And I feel like us against you guys, that's gonna be a big rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
I think like my prediction is gonna be us in the grand finals in the playoffs. That's my prediction. I think that's gonna be a big one. And on the other hand, and for the other conference, I don't know about Conference 1, but yeah, I can see a big rivalry happen there.
Very nice, very nice. Well, yeah, that's Division 2, Conference 2, done and dusted. I think we can go on to Division 1. I want to thank you, Cheesecake, for your time here on stream. It was great to have talked to you a little bit of an insight of your team, your predicted finish. It has been great. And, well, top seed, well, we can expect a lot from you guys later on this season. I want to thank you, and maybe we'll be seeing you later on stream somewhere in the later weeks of the ECC.
Definitely. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, then we are going to move to division number 1. Yeah, Faded, do you have anything to add maybe on division 2?
You let me speak, finally. I was just miming on stream. Yeah, thanks for peer pressure, lads. Anyway, yeah, Division 2 is looking pretty spicy, to be fair, and it was great to hear from both Dr. Sniper and Cheesecake. I must say Cheesecake is a master of waffling on, but we kind of need it right now. So yeah, thank you very much to both those guys for coming along. But yeah, it's going to be great. We're having a bunch of returning teams and new faces as well. So I'm super excited to see how that's going to happen or go down. So I think it's about time we bring in our next guest. We have ourselves another OG, a legend, you can say. It is Mr. Celsius, who is currently definitely in the chat. We'll just wait for him. But I mean, we all know Celsius. If you don't know him, what are you doing with your life? He's been around since the very, very beginning of the ECC, and here he is now. Celsius, welcome to you, my man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How about yourself?
I'm doing very well, thank you very much. And yeah, we have you here, of course, just talk about how you've been around since the very beginning, since season 1, according to my notes, Celsius. You've been around for a very, very long time. And I think I asked this to Sheet actually earlier, you know, how is it like seeing how the ECC has progressed from the early days to where it is now?
Yeah, I think it's the competition has definitely evolved since season 1. Like I remember season 1 was like it was more It's more like you're like I think the highest was like C3 low GC, and obviously as it's progressed, now we're seeing like 2K players hitting it up and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's definitely more competitive now than it has ever been.
Yeah, definitely. Talk about like higher level players. We've had actually former ECC players make it to the RLCS even. A couple of players that come to mind are actually Mads and Matsgray, and also Kieran as well, who are on the their former Minx team, and they've went and done some great things as well. So it's good to see how some of our former players have gone on to progress in the future. Let's talk about how you actually did in your previous season with Majestics. You guys were Division 1.1 and ended in 6th. So outside of that, the playoff spots, but nevertheless, how did you find that last season? Of course, I imagine you guys, tried to develop throughout that season. So, what did you take away from that experience there?
Well, initially when I put the team together, obviously it was just a bit of chill, a bit of fun. Obviously, I picked up Tiger, and Tiger brought Cammy on board, and I asked Tene, and he was in the team as well. And it was just meant to be a bit of fun, just a bit of an enjoyment, really, because we didn't really want to be like a proper competitive team, because obviously it's starting to get to that point where obviously I'm looking to go into education, and obviously I just wanted to start chilling out and stuff like that. So that was the vibes we went in. Obviously it was all positive from there on out. So yeah, we didn't really have a competitive edge. It was more just enjoy ourselves, play to win, and if we lose, that's it. It's not a problem.
Yeah, I think that's a great mentality to have. So yeah, as long as you guys had fun, and I guess that's all that matters at the end of the day. And as far as you can see, of course, you're sticking with the same team going into the season, which is nice to see that continuity there. And adding Damian and Bubbles as your new players, currently listed as subs. So I'm guessing you're just adding those guys and maybe trying to rotate players in and out, I'm supposing, because I think that's the idea of a fun team. You want to get everyone involved and really just enjoy yourselves.
Aye, definitely. Yeah, well, obviously, unfortunately, Tiger's kind of stepped down a bit because obviously due to work, he's working late nights, so obviously he decided to step down. So obviously that's why Damien and Bubbles was brought on, obviously just to help out to begin with. But then obviously Tiger turned around and said that obviously he's kind of giving that up due to working late.
All right. Well, that is fair enough. Yes. So, I think now we will actually get into the division announcement itself. So you'll have a list of the teams. So I'd like you, as you're doing up until now, to list the teams from bottom to top for us.
All right. So first team we've got is Gedalian Celeritis, which is a returning team. And they've got Robo as captain, Sensei, and Hunter. Obviously, I apologize if there's any mispronunciations. I do apologize in advance. And then next we've got Stool Sample, who's got Ginger Ninja, quality name right there. Clay, Baders, and Martinside as sub. After that, we've got Zero Mercy, which is a returning team. Used to be called Ziad Esports, was it? Or Ziad Esports?
I think so, yeah.
They've got Jota, King Alice, and Pating. I think I pronounced that right. It just reminds me of something like Pating. I can't remember what. I'm sure there's a television show that's got something like that on, and I can't remember what it is. Next we got DSCA Red Sun, which is also a returning team, and I think did they come through Division 2? I think.
I
don't
believe they
remember.
were. I believe they were in Division 1 last season already, but they had a little roster change, as I think Icestoker left their roster. So, new roster there.
Oh, okay. They must have been on the other side then. So yeah, they got Hillian Hunter, Marinus, Fluorescent, and Zazri DH. Next we've got Pamado, which is Legali, a returning legend. Ghoul, Shapi, and Klongdom. What a quality name that is.
That's quite the name you've got.
Klongdom.
Oh my god. Right.
Boosted Beans is Chris Beresford, Deddy, Nitrox, and Jord. Obviously, Deddy being on Snakebite. It's unfortunate that Snakebite split up like that. Obviously, they've been around since the beginning here as well. But obviously, progression is a natural thing. And then next is my team, Regnant, Celsius, which is me, Celsius. You got Tiger, unfortunately he's stepping down. Cami Crazy, Damien, and Bubbles. Next we got Rocket Core Neptune, is Jew for Life, Jimmy F1, Vanina, Zillion. And next is after that is Daggus Barnon, which is also a returning team. Oh, sorry about that, just knocked my mic. Are they what division were they in last season?
Daggus Barnon, I think also Division 1, if I believe
Yeah,
so. Division 1,
I'm
yeah.
pretty
Oh,
sure
okay.
Div 1 as well, yeah.
Yeah, okay, they must have been on the other side then. So we got Pizza, Otto, Limpan, Bossalasa. And then last but not least is Blizzard Wizards, which is a returning team. Trisseltan, Charm, and Serenity.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that, Celsius. So those are your 10 teams that you can now see on your screens that are participating in this season. I do believe actually Blizzard Wizards are the former Agitate Horus team from last season. So it's good to see them now coming back and trying to fight their way back up the divisions. So Celsius, you have the number 4 seed in this division. So projected to make playoffs initially. So I'm going to throw this question right your way. What do you think your chances this season? Of course, you're going with more of a just playing for fun kind of mentality, but I imagine you want to be trying to push and trying to make it into the top 4 spots to get in the playoffs.
Aye, definitely. Yeah, like again, we're not really here for a competitive edge, but like I say, we'll play to win. But if we don't, then that's fine. But yeah, I hope we get it this season. It'd be quite a nice way to finish it off, really.
Yeah, indeed. So, yeah, it's gonna be exciting stuff. Of course, you've been around for bloody ages in the agency.
Part of the furniture now.
Yeah, more or less, you could say that. But yeah, so really, when you look towards like kind of the future of ECC, do you after this season, do you think you'll continue on even more? Because you did mention earlier you were looking to I imagine it's like a career change, you could say, into education actually, which is I think it's a really good field to get into in this day and age, and I can find that very rewarding. Do you think you'll still compete in your well, I say compete, play in the ECC for fun after the season?
Oh yeah, definitely, always for fun. Because I've always been supportive of this league anyway. Because I think the format of the league, obviously when it first started out, was a really good choice. And obviously we can see that due to how many people sign up. And I've always been supportive of it because it's just something different, usually it was, I think, used to be just like, is it a round robin kind of tournament? So basically you'd just have a set teams and there'd be just single elimination. And what was different about this was obviously it was a league play kind of based style tournament, and so obviously you just had to progress through the weeks in order to rack up points and see where you finished at the end. So yeah, I'll probably be here for another couple just because of the type of it. So I'll be looking at going into film and television composition with music. So probably might play 1 or 2 more, but other than that, that's probably going to take up most of my time. So probably after that, I'll probably looking at going down to like a lower division just to chill out, really.
Yeah, that's really respectable. And we talk about actually league formats, and I feel like there's not many. Now there's not many leagues or tournaments like the ECC. I think what most people see is these like single kind of tournaments, and it's stuff that us here at Slipstream also host. So I it is something unique, definitely. When you have these league formats, and you kind of like stretch out over a week almost, or a certain, you're guaranteed a certain number of games, right? In these formats. So, it's good to see that that attracted you and got you into this kind of system here. So yeah, that's yeah, it's all great to see there. And so we still got a few more minutes. So I'd like to ask you actually about the past of VCC and how you've actually built up to here. Is there any like notable moments from your time in the ECC here? You've been here since the first name season, I guess, the ECC. So are there any like moments that really stand out to you throughout your playing career here?
Well, obviously the first season where we actually won. I was under the team AUC Legends, and we actually won the first season. So obviously that's always a memorable experience. But obviously I joined on to the staff as a media, as a content creator. So I used to make all the, I think it was the music, the all the videos and stuff like that. And obviously, I think the staff have always been amazing here as well. They've always been fair, and I think the community has always been really good as well. I think that's the thing that attracts most people, is not just because of the tournament side, but obviously because of the community side. You know, everyone's supportive of each other. Everyone cheers on each other when matches are being played, streamed. Obviously, the casting over time has gotten a lot better. So I just think the league in general is just memorable because the fact how much it's grown.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think I've been here since season 2, I believe. So I came a bit after you joined here. And so back in the day, there was like something like, I don't remember how many divisions, but it's like 3 or 4 divisions to begin with, and it was something like, or even 2 in like the alpha season. It's like something as small as that, and it's quite mind blowing to see it now come to, well, in terms of like separate divisions, we now have 6, but there's also conferences embedded in a bunch of those. So it's crazy to see how it started so small, but now it's going into something where we're getting we're going into hundreds of teams competing, and that's the space of like 2 years, and it must be like crazy to see how it's gone in that space of time, how it's grown that much since it first began.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think it was 30 teams we started with, and now we're getting like 120 teams plus extra in the reserves.
Yeah,
I think it's 120. Yeah, it would be 120. Yeah, was it about 120 teams? I think so.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's ridiculous. I think the growth of it, and obviously it's just going to continue growing and growing.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's great. I'm honored to have it as well, to be part of like the early history of the ECC, and kind of being one of the OGs, you could say, and still being around today. And it's great to see how this org, built by the community for the community almost, has gone so far. In this. But I think that's about everything we have. We will have to move on pretty soon. Before we let you go, Celsius, though, if you'd like to say anything to the stream or any shoutouts or whatever, then go right ahead. The floor is yours.
To be honest, I would like to say thanks to Jez for setting this up, because if it wasn't for him, none of this would have happened, really. And obviously, people like Muckfish, Alpha Yui, Timmy, or Empathy as he's known now, Cursed Wolf, all of those people who set this league up. If it wasn't for them, then obviously we wouldn't be here where we are today.
Yeah, exactly. We've got a lot of people to thank those guys for setting up in the beginning. Well, thank you so much, Celsius. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you here. Of course, one of the legends we have around here. So everyone in the chat, give him a round of applause. In text form, I guess. But yeah, thank you so much, Celsius, again, and have the best of luck in the season.
All right, cheers yourselves too.
All right, well, that was Celsius there, everyone. And Dennis, before we move on to our next guest, have you got any other thoughts on this conference there?
No, it's going to be really interesting. I think the most interesting team here will be Goddennis Celeritas, because, well, of course, we have seen them first seed of Division 2 last season, but now they have a roster change. They removed Arrow out of the team, which is a really, really talented player. I believe he's hit like 1800, which was for Division 2 standards really, really high. Now going into Division 1, Arrow left, so it's going to be really interesting to see how Goddennis Celeritas will do this season. Will they, maybe reach our expectations that they're just gonna end up like 10th, because right now, well, yeah, they're 10th seeded, or are they actually making an upsetting Division 1.1? It's gonna be really interesting how they will do. And of course, also for the Legend Celsius itself, yeah, how is his team going to do? I think he's 4th seeded, so yeah, really interesting to see how he's going to do in this season. And then, well, yeah, we always see Division 1. Usually, it was this. The second highest division, and well, it's always been a really competitive division. Striving for the prize pool of last season it was €30. This season there isn't a prize pool for Division 1 because that has been moved to the Champions Division. But yes, still, I believe there's going to be a really, really intense battle between all these teams around 1700 level. I think we can really expect a lot of good gameplay. But all has been really said about Division 1.1. I think it's time to go to Division 1.2, and one of the a really good division in the ECC. We have seen a lot of good teams in Division 1.2 last season, so it's going to be interesting to see if this Division 1.2 is going to be as competitive as well last season. I think we just have to wait for our guest right now. Before we can move on. But I think he's right here. We are seeing the captain of Ascension Kyrios. It's going to be really interesting to have a talk with him.
Yes.
Yeah, it is Chucho. Hello, welcome to the stream.
Hi, thanks for having me.
It's got you of course played in Division 1 last season. You did quite well, but in the end in playoffs, well, it didn't go as you hoped. Could you maybe summarize what happened last season?
I mean, part of it was a classic Chucho maneuver to do well in league play and then not do too well in playoffs. In our defense, we did end up playing against Nox Atlanta, who got promoted, and Glasgow Storm, who ended up winning the entire thing. So, a bit disappointing, but overall, we lost to good opponents. So, it could be worse. It could be worse.
Yeah, and coming back on your doing well in league play and not playing too well in playoffs. I can remember playing a season with you in playoffs.
Exactly.
Well, we did well in league play, won league play, but when it came to playoffs, we of course had to lose against Snakebite, which was kind of difficult for us. But
no, don't bring it up. Don't bring it up.
New season,
No.
and hopefully for you guys, maybe at a title. I can't remember. Have you ever won an ECC title?
No. You've reminded me of losing to Snakebite, and now reminded me of not winning a title. No, I've not won a title. I've not won a title. So, ideally, I want to get promoted. But of course, if we could win a title on top of that, that would be perfect. But I just want to get promoted most seasons. That's the main aim.
Of course, we are. You have been playing in the ECC for a very long time under the same organization as well. You've been a player in Alpha season for Ascension, and season 9 or season 8 now, and you are still playing under Ascension. Could you maybe give a little recap about the last seasons? How was it playing for Ascension? How did you see the league evolving? We just had a talk with Selson, who has been a player since season 1, but you of course have been playing in Alpha season. So how did you experience this league overall?
It's been very good. I'm starting to feel like a bit of a boomer, having played Alpha season and all the way to this. I mean, of course I'm biased, but it's quite easy playing under Ascension because it's actually just a lot of fun. I'm meeting a lot of good people. It's quite good to see how much the league has grown as well, not only in size in terms of number of teams and players, but also the quality of play. I mean, when I joined, I think I was Diamond 2 or 3 when I joined, and that was actually quite common to have people around that rank. And now to see majority of players at Grand Champ and above, it's incredible. So I've enjoyed it. I'm still enjoying Rocket League just because I'm addicted, so I'll probably keep going as long as I can, really.
Yeah, I think a lot of other people could agree with that as well. Just
definitely.
You're still addicted to the game. You really want to keep competing in ECC, and the ECC is as big as it ever could have been here in season number 8. So I think it's time for you if you announce Division 1.2 the seedings. So beginning with 10th seed, you can start.
Okay, let's have a look. I'll say I followed the rules. I didn't look. I'm actually very excited to see who we will be playing against. Okay, so the 10th seed is the Nameless Paradox, returning team. That's Solar, Matimumu, and Beastbound. very good. I'm excited about this one. We scrimmed them a lot. This should be a lot of fun. Very good. Do you want me to move on to Seed 9?
Yep, yeah, just move on.
Okay. So Seed 9, we have Code Red, returning team as well. Recognize a couple of these names in here. Very good. Seed 8, Echo Zone. Okay, cool. Some more recognizable names. This actually seems like a very good team. 2, Creed, Aztecs, Chloe. Seed 7, Donkey Punch. Okay, another. I'm liking this division. It's very good. Null Eyes team, of course. Seed 6, Astro Cosmos, returning team, another one. More people I know. Looks like a competitive division. Then we've got Phoenix Gaming, Seed 5. Okay, let's have a look. Where's Curious? Season 4, We Vicious, Nico Vision and Track, very good team. Seed 3, Wookiee Esports, another returning team. Lafote and Durdok played them last season, should be good. Seed 2, yay, there we go. It's the boys. Yes, essentially Curious, of course. And Seed 1, RC Saturn. Okay, should be good competition.
Yeah, Division 1.2 always has been a really competitive division. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you've played in Division 1.2 last season as well. We have seen Domino
Yeah.
Academy there playing and well had a really, really good season in league play. And a little bit like Essential Curios, pretty much thrown in in playoffs. They didn't really do well. Yeah, got beat in the upper bracket and then after got beat in the lower bracket. Well, we don't see Domino Academy this season in Division 1. So, well, do you think you would have a good chance of winning this Division 1 and finally, well, I have to say, winning your first title on ECC?
Yeah, I mean, I'm usually optimistic and biased. But I do truly believe we can win this. The plan the last couple of seasons, so far everything's gone to plan. I think season 6 we first joined Division 1. We knew it was gonna be difficult, so we just tried to not get relegated. That worked. Then last season we knew we could move up the table. Again, that worked. We made playoffs, second in league play. I think we've improved. We played a lot during the off season. Signed Mackie, of course, very good player. So I do think we have a realistic chance, second seed. So yeah, I think we're well within our rights to think we could probably win this one. Looks like a very competitive division.
Yeah, because you've just talked about the transfer of Mackie. I've seen that Cherry will be moving to the sub position. Well, we have seen him playing quite consistent and quite decent in Ascension Curios the last few seasons. Could you maybe explain a little bit why he has transferred Mackie into Ascension Curios and what is really the reason? And maybe how did he play the last few weeks, months? How long you have been playing?
Yeah, of course. So I mean, the first thing with making Cherry the sub, it was more just nothing to do with Rocket League. Just Cherry wants a little bit of a break from competitive. He's got some other things going on, and it was a difficult end to the season, so he was feeling a bit rough. So we just decided to let him have a break. And then obviously me and Kurt wanted to carry on grinding a bit, so we just thought it'd be best to move Cherry to sub for a bit and try and find someone new. Held tryouts, took about 2 months to do all the tryouts, and end up with Mackie. There were a lot of good people. It was a very difficult decision, but yeah, I knew a bit about Mackie because I believe he won Division 1 in Season 6. He's just a very high-level player, very smart player, good with the ball. When we played with him in scrims, good comms, quite a chill guy. So hopefully this should help us. But I've said this, Cherry will always have a welcome spot on this team, no matter how much he wants to play. So hopefully it works out.
Yeah, it's great to see Cherry still being part of Ascension Curios. Yeah, it looks pretty much like decades. We have seen Cherry, of course, playing for Lynx before, but I can't pretty much remember because he's been in Ascension Curios for so long. Well, Ascension Curios didn't even exist back then. It existed back then, but
it was the process.
Yeah, it was in the process. But it's still really good to see Cherry, of course, an Ascension legend, I can call him by now. Playing in Division 1 conference too, well, as a sub position, but still really good to see him still playing. And you could still get a good strong player in Mackie in your roster. So that is great. So yeah, you have just announced the seeding of Division 1.2. You are in seed number 2. Do you think you could? I've already said it, but do you think you can actually like make it happen this season? To win it? Because of course, there's just one team above you guys in the conference, which is RC Saturn. Could you maybe tell us the biggest rivalries in your division? You have said that you know of teams in this conference. What are the biggest rivalries in the conference?
So a lot of people that know me know I'm overly competitive. So it's always nice when I have people in the division that I know, just to add a little bit more to it. So Nameless Paradox, Solar's team, we scrim them a lot. It's always fun competition. We get on well with them. So I was talking to Solar before the seeding, and I was hoping we would get them. So very happy about that one. Couple names I know in Echo Zone, like Creed and Aztec, should be fun to play against them. Donkey Punch is actually all Ascension people, like ex-Ascension people, I believe, except Moggy. So that is going to be good competition. Played against Nulai a lot. Nore, of course, my ex-teammate. Ryan also briefly my ex-teammate, so this should be that should be good. Quite a difficult game, but yeah, very competitive. Also, Nico Vision Tracks. I've known them for quite a long time as well, to be fair. I speak to them every so often, so it should be quite competitive. That's why I like this division, actually, because pretty much all the teams I know a couple people. Lafote and Durdock, who are, of course, on Snakebite Venom last season. We managed to beat them 3-2. Bring that up quickly. So hopefully we can do the same again this season. Maybe not 3-2, hopefully 3-0, who knows? So yeah, it should be competitive, should be good. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, maybe I've said it already, but what would be your predicted finish? I mean, I believe you guys really want to just make playoffs. I think that's just number one priority. You want to make playoffs. But when you're going into playoffs, last season it didn't go too well, and maybe it's a little bit of the Ascension Curious curse to do not do well in playoffs. Yeah, how do you think you're gonna do in playoffs then?
Okay, yeah, so I definitely think we'll make playoffs, and then I mean, if we get good seeding, you know, we're second seed. If we finish second in league play, that might help us. I think previously when we've been in playoffs, we haven't performed to our best. But as I brought up earlier, last time we played against the team that finished first and third. So although you know we should do better, it you know it wasn't too bad. So I think we might just need to be more adaptable, or perhaps just put in a little bit more effort as playoffs come up. You know, just so we're extra ready. Maybe if we're more adaptable, you know, it won't matter as much who we come up against because we can sort of adjust to what they do. So I think we've learned a lot as well. So I think we'll do better. We'll do better this time. I don't want to have the same thing happen again.
All right, then. Yeah, one last question. I know for a fact that you are a little bit into freestyling. You watch, well, of course, a lot of videos of, well, Jazer, Pilsy Vampel.
Yes, you know.
Well, if you go on stream somewhere in the later weeks, how many flip resets can we expect from you, teacher?
Well, I'm very excited to announce that I'll soon have a 144 hertz monitor and brand new internet. So, I don't know. I want to be sensible, but I have been practicing rapid resets. So if the opportunity comes up and maybe we have a lead, I might annoy my teammates by going for a double reset. I'm not going to go overboard and say 3 or 4 flip resets, but I might try 2. I might try 2.
All right. Yeah, that's pretty much everything, teacher. It was really good to have spoken to you here on stream. Ascension Curious second seed. We are going to see how they're going to perform in the season of ECC. I want to thank you, teacher, for being in the stream, and I think we can move on to the next division.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so Division 1 done and dusted. It has been, well, a long talk, but some very, very good teams failed. Do you know maybe some of these teams? Can you maybe give a little bit of brief info about some of these teams, or maybe some of those players?
I'll be honest, I don't know much about most of the teams. It's good to see We've Vicious back at least. That'll be an interesting one to see. But yeah, Nameless Paradox as well. Just to see how they do it as well. and I believe Donkey Punch as well. I see Moggy on that team, and he was pestering me in chat about it. But yes, it's good to see Big Moggy back in this. So yeah, some interesting names we're seeing in this. So I can't wait to see how Div 1 unfolds. But with that done and dusted, we can now move on to the Champions Division. So this is when things are going to really start to get interesting. And our guest for Champions Division Conference 1 is going to be Lewis Hendel. We will just get him in here. Lewis, big welcome to you, man. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm all good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Thank you very much. So yeah, we've got you here to discuss the Champions Division Conference 1 here. And right off the bat, I want to talk about the lineup you've got here. Of course, slight spoiler here, you're going under Disconnected Esports, which I believe is an IL franchise, if I'm not mistaken. And you got yourself Growly and Herbs as teammates. Would you like to tell us about how you actually how this team actually came together in the first place?
Right. So first of all, yeah, we are an IEL franchise as well. But
Mhm.
so I've been friends with Habes for a little while. We've played in IEL first of all, and we've played in many other things beforehand. And Habes and Growly go back quite a while, and they've been friends. And so we just kind of wanted to, we're just getting together to have fun in the season, and I think we can just all have a laugh and do well.
Yeah. All right, yeah, it's pretty respectable. And of course, we can highlight Growly a little bit because he's been in about the high levels of the bubble scene here. So, yeah, he's a quality player and could certainly go far in the future. So, I guess it is nice to have a player of that caliber on your team. And even though you're playing just for fun and like IEL and ECC, he's maybe someone that you could learn a few things from and to help you develop yourself, really.
Yeah, exactly. It will be massive for myself as well because both Habes and Growly are both cracked, to be fair. Obviously, people will highlight Growly because he's rank A and all that, but Habes is very good as well.
Yeah.
And he's improving a lot. So for me, it is very, very helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's good to hear. Now I want to talk about your previous season as well. So you're under recognized talent actually, and you ended up finishing third in league play. And sadly losing in the first round of the playoffs to the Ice Pops. Talk to us about that last season there. Yeah, how do you like make of it? What do you think of how you finished? Do you think you could have done any better? Let's hear your thoughts about it.
Well, league play wasn't bad. We had some, especially near the start, we had some slip ups because we were at the very start of ECC, we were just teaming, so we were getting used to each other. But then towards near the end of playoffs and toward the middle, we done really well together and we looked good. But just before playoffs, we kind of hit that a rough patch, which is just the worst time to hit it, really.
Mm-hmm.
And so we came into playoffs not with the best form and not the best mentality, and that kind of hurt us in the playoffs. But we moved on, and that's fine. It happens.
Yeah, it does happen. Slumps can affect you guys here, and so now I've actually want to talk about this jump that you're taking. You're in Division 1 in the previous season, now going to Champions Division, of course. Maybe the skill levels have changed in the division since then. But yeah, how are you going to be dealing with that? Change. You're into still the second highest division, but it might be a step up here. So how do you think you're going to be handling it here?
Well, I've played against higher levels in other things because I like to play a lot of tournaments, a lot of competitions. You got like the RLCS qualifiers, the field, all stuff like that. So I've played a lot of high people over the time, and so once you start playing the high level, you start getting used to it, and then it's not too bad. But you've just got to get the feel for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would certainly agree with you there. So I think it's now time we get into the division reveal itself. So you'll have a list of 10 teams that'll be in the including yourself in that division. So from bottom to top, I'd like you to just list them out here for us.
All right. So first of all, we have a returning team, Nox Esports Atlanta, which consists of Big Baba 92 as the captain, Nox Julian, Gaetano, and Rice and Bauer as the sub. Going next, we have Insist Blackout with the Snake as the captain, Ollie EU, Laser, and Sabo Jr. as their sub. Going on after that, we have Hobble. It's a difficult one for me to pronounce, but Hobble Shuln Zengang. I probably messed that up, but gave him a best shot. And then Saint 17 is the captain, with Kroby and Chris on their lineup. Next, Sports Slab and Esports, with Ericsson as the captain, Tempest, and Dusler. Then we have GTZ Bulls, with Danny Octavio as the captain, Gilia Most, and Panami. Then we have Fish, which consists of JK as the captain, Timsy, and Cactic. Then Volcano Esports, with Gamble as captain, Rebels, and Hype. After them, Domino Academy, with AM as the captain, Victorison 123, Swampy, and Joski as their sub. In second, Koana Academy, with Hodge as the captain, Havoc, and Dave. And then last, but most certainly not least, we have Disconnected Esports, with me, Herbs, and Growly, as mentioned previously.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that, Lewis. So, before I actually ask you about, your predicted finish for this season, are there any names within your own division that you recognise? Maybe teams you'll be looking out for in the upcoming season.
Yeah, there's a couple teams. I think two that I know of a few of their players and could do a bit of damage is Fish and Koana Academy.
Mhm.
I think they've got some pretty decent players, and they definitely could cause some good results.
All right. Well, that is fair there. So yeah, we see some familiar faces in here. And I think final question here now for you. What are your expectations going into this season? Of course, you guys are the first seed, overall in the entirety of the Champions Division. So, yeah, some expectations to live up to. But yeah, how do you think you guys will do?
We're gonna win it all. We gotta go confidence. We're gonna go all the way. We got it. Let's go.
All right. Well, I'll hold you to that. Yeah, that one. But yeah, I love the confidence from you. So yeah, thank you so much, Lewis, for coming along. It's a pleasure to speak to you, and best of luck to you in the upcoming season.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. That was Lewis there from Disconnected Esports. Dennis, the confidence coming out from this guy, I love it. So yeah, what do you make of Disconnected's chances here and really this conference as a whole?
Well, yeah, it is a really, really competitive conference, of course. Champions Division, which used to be the highest division of the ECC, which is now, of course, the Vortex, which only could be accessible by qualifiers. So Disconnected is, seed number 1 of the Champions Division. Did not make Vortex, but nevertheless, here in the Champions Division, definitely, they are going for that. For the title of the Champions Division, you could just hear the confidence of Lewis Endo, and well, we have to see. Of course, we already heard it this evening. Seeding an MMR, it's just a number, and we're just going to see in the end how it's going to turn out for them. Disconnected Esports, nevertheless, a really, really strong roster with Gurley, with Herbs, and of course with Lewis Hendo. So definitely, I could see them winning Champions Division, but of course they got to show it on the Rocket League pitch first. To be able to win the title first. Of course, it is a really competitive division. And yeah, you're not just gonna win it by, not trying your best, because, well, that's just not gonna win you the Champions Division. So yeah, really competitive division, and I can expect a lot from this Champions Division Conference 1.
Yeah, definitely. But we're now going to move something on to Conference 2 here. And we've got ourselves a very familiar face here. And got to say, veteran legend. We have Mr. Maxfish, my guy. What is happening?
Hello. Thank you very much for dragging me into this. I mean, stream that has been going on surprisingly very well to schedule.
Yeah, it has been, hasn't it? I mean, we had to do a bit of delaying tactics, because we were going a bit too quickly, but, we're actually pretty well on time. So, yeah, warm welcome to you, Max. Of course, we've got you here participating in division, the Champions Division Conference 2 here. And first, we got to mention, as you've seen with some of our guests here, you've been here since the Alpha season, and so you can consider yourself an OG, and you've been under the Snakebite brand from the very beginning up until this season, and this is the first season the Snakebite brand actually will not be in the ECC, and so it must be like a pretty strange feeling to be playing under a different name this time.
I mean, it is, but it is sort of a familiar feeling because, as you will very soon find out, the new team name is an unholy trinity of old ECC teams from where we all originate. So, while it is a bit foreign, it is still very much the same feel. And because of course I know the players for a long time. My teammates have also been ECC in the ECC for a very, very long time. So, yeah. To not have Snakebite around is sad, but now Ascension, in the form of not only Dennis but Chucho and Jess and all the other players who are, of course, participating under the Ascension brand, will have to carry the torch of the only standing ECC org, I guess.
Yeah, so let's actually talk about your team a little bit. So, along with yourself, you got Sky, I can't pronounce it. It's Stock. Yeah, I'm not even going to pronounce that. I'll just call him Stock for now. Empty and Manny. So yeah, you got a mixed bag of players there, but of course you got one of your former teammates Empty in there, and also some people from around the community that you're familiar with. So yeah, you still got some of that familiarity, and of course it's like kind of a team of people that have been around for a long time. So it's in terms of the historical value of the ECC, it's quite a lineup to have. So yeah, how do you think you guys will actually do with this lineup here?
Yeah, once we actually found out or knew that we had to move the MMR boundaries, I was strongly against moving them so low that we would end up in Champstiff because we are honestly fucking scared of playing in Champstiff. But now with the new season, we had to make that change, and with that, I think the only target we personally have is to just survive, to stay in the Champstiff, and maybe get an upset or so. Because on a good day, anything can happen, and especially when we're playing you faded, maybe that would be very fucking good to just completely get rid of you. And I'm looking forward to demoing you about 20 times that match.
Well, you forget that I hold R2 and boost all the time, so there's no chance you're catching up to me.
I mean, as someone who uses over 400 boosts per match, I don't think you can put a torch to me on that one, mate.
All right, well, we'll see when the match happens. That's a week 1 matchup, so I really hope that's on stream because, yeah, that's going to be a banger of a game. I can't wait for it. But before we actually get to the division reveal itself, we're going to talk about last season, Max. Under Snakebite Venom in Division 1.2, you ended up finishing 6th with that team, so probably not the result you were after. Nevertheless, how did you make of your performance last season, and what are you taking from that into this season when you're going to be in a division with a higher degree of competition?
I mean, last season with Snakebite Venom was a bit of a mixed bag because from like one game to the next, we could play amazing, and then all of a sudden, completely trash. Like no rotations, possession, just gifting the opponent the possession all the time, and that inconsistency was ultimately what broke our back. And the result was we didn't even get to playoffs, which was our target. Then, unfortunately, Lefote decided to go on a hunt for another team, which is totally fine. And then Derdok and myself decided to not stick together because of like different priorities. And yeah, I think we underperformed. We pretty much should have made playoffs, but when you don't perform, you don't get to have a say in it. So all the teams that did perform and did make playoffs clearly were the better teams in the end. So while we were unsatisfied by our results, there's nothing much we could do about it in the end. We fucked it up ourselves, and we had to pay the price.
Yeah, so unfortunate stuff, but it just happens, I guess, and improve and go next, I suppose. So I think now it's about time we actually announce who's going to be along with your team in your division. So you actually put together these lists for us, but you'll have the list there. 10 teams from bottom to top. List off the teams you have in your division for us.
Yeah, so as the number 10 seed in Champions Conference 2, we have Trinitas Esport Remix, who are, of course, promoting from last season from Division 1, consisting of Swiftly as the captain, Mazer, Killer, Reckless Liar, and Reckless Liar as their sub. In number 9, we have another returning team that also just promoted from Division 1. In fact, the winners of Division 1 from last season in The Storm, who are, of course, captained by Percy and then accompanied by Little Pace and Bram. In number 8, we have my team, SSCEA, the unholy abomination of a mixture of a name that is from SB, so Snakebite, ASC, so Ascension, and DSEA, consisting of myself, Skyv, Ice Stockier, and then, as you mentioned earlier, the 2 subs, M3 and Big Manitou. Then, as number 7, we have Ascension Trinity, of course, returning from last season, with Jess as the captain, Jeffer, Horizon, and as a substitute, Greg. In number 6, we have More Cats Gaming, consisting of Parsi, who is the captain, Leo Vito, Omid313, and their sub Bingo, who has played last season under Asia Team Breads, also in Champions Division. So people who watched last season might recognize that very name. As number 5, we've got Magma Gaming, consisting of Mark Giver as the captain, Nix, German Row, Charlie, and Rake. Charlie as the sub, and Rake as their coach/manager. In number 4, we have Noctis, who made a good run yesterday, actually, in the Vortex qualifier. Didn't quite make it, so they are in Champs Div, consisting of Kiris as the captain, Ixos and Fabi, and Slaras as their sub. Number 3, we have your team Faded, the beautiful retirement home. Obviously, you are the captain of that roster, and you are accompanied by Jalen and Filthy Peanut.
Regrettable.
Very regrettable choice. I don't know how you ended up with that one. I thought you had more self-esteem, but you also made a good run yesterday, so I want to congratulate you on that. Didn't quite work out in the end. Was very close though, very fun to watch.
Yeah.
In number 2 in our div, we have Crystal Gaming, another returning team, consisting of Antu as the captain, Raker and Nashi, and Alex67 as their sub. And the top team for the Champions Conference team is Domino Esport, consisting of Major as the captain, Esberg and Taze, and with the infamous manager Scram, who, by the way, thank you very much earlier for gifting the 5 subs to the community.
All right, well, there we go. And yeah, shout out to Scram for gifting the 5 subs. I actually didn't know he did that because I wasn't reading the chat at the time. But there we go. So those are the 10 teams in that division. So yeah, are there like any teams in particular, marked that you're looking out for? Of course, I'd imagine you recognize a bunch of the names in here, but who are the teams that you are looking out for the most in this division?
I think generally we have like quite a split between like the top 6 and the bottom 4 teams, because the bottom 4 I think is going to pretty much duel it out between themselves about who's not going to go and relegate. And the top 6 are very much going to be the teams that are there for playoffs. Especially Domino Esports should make a very, very strong appearance. But I think your team, although I hate to say it, I think you're going to make playoffs. No pressure.
Yep.
But I would never count out More Cats because not really much is known about them in the ECC, but they come from the Nitro League. And there they have been quite well-known players in Parsi, especially, and Bingo as well. So definitely not to underestimate those 3. But of course, the matchup I'm personally looking very much forward to is against Ascension Trinity. Finally going up against Jess again, who has evaded me for so long by being carried by better players. So I'm going to really, really looking forward to playing him again in a league match.
Yeah, that'll be a great one to that we'll see. So I think final question that I'll leave you here with, Max. Predict where you will finish actually, and I want it down to the exact position. Where do you think you will finish up in the season?
I'm gonna give you position and record because
okay.
I think we're gonna actually end up in 8th. I think 9th is going to be probably Trinity, and 10th probably TRT Remix.
Okay.
That's my prediction, and I think we can make 3 series win happen. So 3 and 6.
3 and 6. All right, I respect that prediction. So I will see if it comes true, and if it does, I will be very shocked and pleasantly surprised. But yeah,
Wanna bet
thank
on
you
it?
so much.
Put a 10 on it.
All right, we'll put
Put a-
5 subs on it.
All right, 5 subs for Slipstream, yeah.
Yeah, for Slipstream. All right, let's do it. So that's the bet. Whoever loses that, if you actually do it, I'll give 5 subs to Slipstream, and yeah, you get the idea. Okay. Someone clip that, so it's kept in here forever. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. But again, thank you, Max, so much for coming along. It's always amazing to chat to you, and I wish you the best of luck in the upcoming season.
Thank you very much for having me, and yeah, good luck to you too.
Thank you, man. So that was Max Fish there, legend of the ECC scene. Always great to chat to him. Dennis, your thoughts on Max and that conference as a whole?
Yeah, well, a really good conference with, of course, Domino Esport in seed number 1. Did pretty well in Vortex qualifiers, but in the end, of course, didn't make it quite as far in making a place into the Vortex division. One team I'm really looking out for is, well, actually a team I'm coaching is Ascension Trinity, of course. Little bias there, but I really hope that they are going to do really well. Maybe making playoffs. I think that's really, I think that's really what they want as well. But if it's gonna happen, I don't know. I hope. Well, I hope they're gonna make it. Maybe with a little bit of help from this coach, they're going to make it. But we have to see. And of course, definitely, like Mart already said, Ascension Trinity versus SSCA. We already saw a little bit of a trash talk from Mart on Jazz. Well, we're gonna see how that series is gonna fall out. So definitely. Champions Division Conference 2, a really competitive division with, some familiar names as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And if that one series doesn't end up on stream, I will personally drop everything and stream it on my own channel. I don't care. I want that on stream. All right. Anyways, we'll move on to the next division, which is the Vortex, the big one, the top division. And to discuss all that with us, we have Helia, who's going to be joining us from Team Shizu. Helia, warm welcome to you, man. I must ask first, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing very well. So, yes, the Vortex, we are here, the top division where you will be competing as part of Team Shizu. So, let's ask you some stuff about that. So, I'll actually talk about the origins of this team. Of course, we do know that Penny and Choke actually picked you up just a couple of months ago, actually. So, can you talk to us about what actually led to that decision there?
We were really looking for a team for RCS when we first tried out, and they ended up picking me over someone else. We played RCS together, and after RCS, Choke and Penny decided that we were like a good team together, and they wanted to stick together, so we stuck together for a while. Then, end of last year, it wasn't going very well with the team, and there was some problems, which led to Choke leaving the team in a mutual decision. So now we do have Choke signed up with us, but we're going to be moving him to sub at the start of the season. But that's basically what led to this happening now and to Team Shizu.
All right, yeah. So that's the current situation of Team Shizu there. Now I'm going to want to talk about your previous history in ECC. From what I can find, you actually played with Vector Gaming in Season 6, coming tied 9th overall across the both conferences. So you have some experience here, and now you're coming back here with Team Shizu here. So how do you think you guys will fare in this season? Actually, of course, you're actually pretty highly favored at the moment, but of course, with the your roster troubles, it could be a bit difficult. But how do you guys think you will do overall here?
I think we're gonna get a good placement as the team we're gonna play in this league is a very good team. Looking at the other teams in here, I think we have a good chance of getting first or second. Definitely a top 3 finish is what we're definitely looking for. So that's the minimum what we're looking for, really.
All right, yeah. So speaking of your division, we're now going to have you list off the 10 teams. Of course, for those of you who don't know, the Vortex is just a single conference here. So Hila, you'll have the list there, and so from bottom to top, list off the teams for us.
As last seed, it's Ignite Esports, which is Destiny, Ultras, France, and Detroit, with Shires as their manager. Then ninth, we have Nox Esports with Create Shots, NKS, Ao Yu, Cantus, and Big Babo as manager. Then HWU Esports, which is the first returning team, which is Sema. It's Hypnotics, Crimsic, Joker, and Akara. Big Iron as 7th seed, which is Miotis, Benny, and Tommy. We have Dark Cats, Sir G, Floofs, Mark, Vortex, Dasky, and Zex as manager. Then the second returning team is Damage Inc., which is Frosty, Onko, Rivella, Azzy, and Silas as their manager. And third returning team is Trinitas Esports, which is Trinity, Goldie, Clowny Boy, Sensei, and Dicker. Then the top 3 is Augless, which is Nugget, Crusher, Forza, and Milne. Then top 2 is us, Team Shazoo, as a returning team of Painy, Harlia, and Choke. Then as first, it's 1, 2, 4Q with Camo, TRG, Classy, Hayes, and Cow. And that was first seed.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that, Helios. So, before we send you on your way here, I'd like to ask you, take a look at the other teams. Are there any teams in there that you're particularly looking out for? To be maybe threats to making playoffs. Of course, you need to make top 4 here. So yeah, who do you think are some of the biggest contenders to challenge you guys here?
I think definitely 1, 2, 4Q is top challenger for us, as that whole team is very good. Camo, TRG, and Classy, of course, being in an actual team as well. And we've played them before a lot of times, so we know they're very good. And I think also Sema, Hypnotics, and Crimsic could be very good, as they've been playing together for a long time. And Crimsic, I think he's been retired for a while, but you never know he's going to play now. So that's, I think, the best teams we're going to have to look out for in this division.
Yeah, very respectable there. So I think that wraps things up for the Vortex. Of course, thank you very much, Celia, for joining us on the stream. It's always a pleasure to chat to you, and I wish you and the boys the best of luck in the upcoming season.
You as well, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Helia. So, yeah, that was Helia from Team Shazoo. We had a chat to there about the Vortex, the newest division here. Dennis, what are your thoughts on this? Of course, we got to see what the Team Shazoo situation is coming into this, and see what teams we got competing here. So, yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, well, of course, we see the two teams, 125Q and Team Shazoo, coming from the Champions Division final of season number 7, which ended up in 4-3 in favor of 124Q. Both had another name back then. Penguin Sniffers was the name of 124Q, and Domino Esport was actually Team Shazoo back then. So, the players of Domino Esport went to Team Shazoo. I believe Painy, Choke, and then Helia as new player. So yeah, that's really interesting to see how that's going to be. Back then, it was a 4-3 in the grand final for 124Q. I believe a reverse sweep, and before that, also in the upper bracket, 124Q or Penguin Sniffers reverse swept Domino Esports. So, well, a little bit of rivalry right there, and yeah, it's really good to see how they're going to play against each other in the Vortex League. And well, all the other teams, of course, they have done an incredible job last Friday and Saturday to qualify here for the final Vortex League. Well, to top off, it has been sponsored by Godallions. In the top right of the screen, you can see exclamation mark Godallions. Type it in the chat and you'll be leaded to the Godallions page. So yeah, big thanks to Godallions. And yeah, so much good teams. And yeah, honestly, it can go anyway. It can be the first 2 seeds, but of course, those top 2 seeds got seeded because of the last placements of the Champions League finals. So the other 8 teams, they might be better than the 2 teams we're seeing here. We just have to see. The Vortex, yeah, has to be the most competitive division from the War ECC, maybe the most competitive division of all times. The first time we have actually having a qualifier where the teams can only get into the Vortex through that qualifier. So really interested to see who's going to be on top, who's going to make playoffs in the first place. Only one conference. These 10 teams are the best teams of the ECC, and it's going to be really interesting to see who's going to be the very best team of ECC number 8.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm very excited to get things kicked off here. So speaking of which, we will be starting the league tomorrow, Monday, and that's where we're going to be beginning week 1 of the season. And I'll actually really quickly pull up the league schedule for everyone so you know what's going to be happening. So yeah, tomorrow is the beginning of the season, and we'll be running for 9 weeks. And the 28th is the final day of the season, and then playoffs and promotion relegation will begin in April, and we'll span across a few weeks there. And yeah, we'll get to see plenty of action, and of course, I'm sure you guys will all enjoy it. So, in terms of streams, we don't have much news on it just yet. We need to wait for matches to be scheduled, but I'm sure later on this week we will be having our first match days on the ECC stream, and so can't wait to see you all there for that. And of course, a big thanks to Godalians again for being our sponsors. You've done a lot for us. Provided us €200 off the prize pool this season, which is a huge amount. So yeah, those guys over there are absolute legends there. So I think that's actually wraps up our division announcement stream here. Dennis, do you have any closing thoughts here for us?
Nah, not really. I'm just really excited for the season of ECC. I think probably by tonight or tomorrow, a tournament link will be available to see your game 1 matches. So yeah, keep an eye out on the announcement channel in the ECC because there will be some updates pretty soon about the upcoming games. You could already make up like your game 1 by looking at the seedings, but if you want to have a structured visual bracket, you can always go to the tournament page, but that will be published later tonight, or as I already said, maybe tomorrow. So that's pretty much everything. Faded, well, it has been a really pleasure to do this stream with you. It's always really nice to do, like a lot of viewers as well. I want to thank, of course, every one of you for tuning in. Of course, a big thanks to all the guests. And well, of course, already said, big thank you to Godalians and of course Empty in the stream. So Faded, you can close this stream off. It has been a pleasure casting with you, and maybe we'll cast some games in the upcoming weeks. We'll see.
Yeah, I really do hope so, Dennis. So yeah, thank you for joining me on the stream, and yes, thank you everyone for joining us today. It's lovely to have you all, and as you said in the chat, if you do want to see your matches, the tournament page is right there, so click on that and see you're going to be playing in the opening weeks. And that wraps up the stream. Of course, thanks again to the Godalians for sponsoring us here. If you do want to contribute to our prize pool as well, there is a match video link in the chat, and the code ECC8 will allow you to put 50 cents towards it, and you can also complete sponsor requests to put more into the prize pool. We're going to be sending you all over to Templar Leagues here who are streaming at the moment. But that's it from me and Dennis, and of course Empty in the background pushing the buttons. Thank you all once again for joining us, and we will see you guys again next week for our first match day stream. Have a good night.